Oh, well, here I go again, just smashing this refresh button in order to get those results so I can give you accurate points, I hope, coming through up to our final round of racing for the day.
It has been just a spectacular day of racing.
Oh,
Those
I can't
last
believe
two
it's over.
races, I swear, I think I aged 5 years.
Oh, don't say that, because we still have the grand final and medals on the line here for our grand finalists in the women's Varsity 8. We're looking at Rutgers in lane 1, Brown in lane 2, Radcliffe lane 3, Dartmouth in lane 4, Columbia lane 5, and Michigan State rounding it out for us in lane 6.
What a great field.
It is a great field, and looks like our little pollsters, our coaches for women's sprints, did get our seating exactly right, because here they are lined up in order right across Lake Quinsigamond, lane for lane, seed for seed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So great job. Claps to the coaches. You got it right. Good job. So now it's going to be up to the athletes to give us a thrill and see if any of these athletes can't outrow those seeds for some upsets and some thrills as we come down the race course here in this women's Varsity 8 grand final here at Women's Sprints in 2025.
And a reminder, kind of based on your analysis, this is going to decide the team point trophy, most likely, unless we have some sort of upset in the lower lanes. But yeah, I think this is going to be a barn burner.
Yes, I think you're right.
For all the marbles.
For all the marbles. And let's just check in really quickly with our Petite final results before we go on to the big show here. That really close finish between Cornell and George Washington. It was Cornell that came out on top in that particular occasion. 7:09.5 for the Big Red over George Washington, 7:09.8.
Wow.
So well-executed sprint by the Cornell crew in the middle of the race course. Of course, finishing in third place position behind BU Northeastern.
So the starter is calling the boats for alignment. There's a countdown start. They're pulling the crews. And the flag is down. The boats are off. It's a clean start.
And we are underway for the premier event here at Women's Sprints. It's the grand final of the Women's Varsity 8. Rutgers, Brown, Radcliffe, Dartmouth, Columbia, and Michigan State lining it up and ripping down the track here. Our top 9 athletes from all of their respective programs, putting it all on the line here in this grand final. Medals up for grabs, as well as the overall team points trophy. Our 3 teams still in contention for that are Rutgers, Brown, and Radcliffe, your points leaders going into this final race of the day.
It's the Ivies against the Big Ten here in the final.
Oh, well, look at that. It is. It's a Big Ten sandwich. We have Rutgers and Michigan State flanking our Ivy League crews, occupying those center lanes. Very well done, Tom.
Wow, what a great sight. Seeing these 6 crews rowing past us here, really neck for neck, listening to the coxswains. Michigan State looking strong in the near lane. Brown, Rutgers battling it out in the far lanes. Looks like Rutgers may have a seat, maybe 2.
That may be, but anything can happen as we get out of this hot start phase and work our way into the business end of this 2K. That middle 1,000 meters is going to be so crucial for all 6 of these crews as we get underway and really go to work here in the middle of this race. Your race leaders, it is Rutgers out by a few seats at this stage, leading Brown over third place Dartmouth, and then fourth place Radcliffe, but only by a few seats over this really hot contest we're seeing at the bottom of your picture between Columbia and Michigan State, rounding out positions 5 and 6. Nothing to call between the Lions and the Spartans for those 2 final positions in this field at the moment. And a little bit of work to do for both of these crews if they want to get back in the conversation for the medals today.
And it's Rutgers and Brown who are battling it out in that first 2 spots for the championship of the Varsity 8 in the women's Eastern Sprints.
Yep, currently the advantage still going to the Scarlet Knights, who have just gone off your picture in the red boat there. Your race leaders by just a few seats. Not quite half a length yet now for Rutgers over Brown. Brown tracking them very, very closely in this women's varsity 8. These two crews starting to push themselves away. Brown has almost a full boat length over the rest of the field. Rutgers a full boat length over any other challengers that may want to enter the conversation for these medals.
It's a little bit of a reversal of strategy from what we've seen in the past between these two crews, where Brown was going out much faster and Rutgers trying to catch up. Looks like Rutgers is out faster now, and Brown is looking to hang and pass them in the second half of the race.
I mean, this may be a tactical decision by the Rutgers program just to see what they can do in this first 1,000 meters, to see if they can rattle Brown and shut down any challenge coming from that Brown program early on, and then see if they can't just row away with it in the second 1,000. It looks like that's what's happening right now. Rutgers just really capitalizing on this second 500 and getting themselves out to 2/3 of a boat length now. It's just going to be that stroke seat that's going to have contact with that Brown boat looking over, and she's going to see that bow ball, and that's got to be a good feeling in that Scarlet Knight boat as we're coming up to the halfway point. Really making a dominant move there in that second 500 for the Scarlet Knights. Does Brown have an answer?
It looks like they have tried to make a move here, and they have moved back a couple of seats on Rutgers, and so they are trying to answer the bell on this one.
Yeah, and really heating up, too, is this race for the bronze medal between Dartmouth and Radcliffe.
Wow.
This is a face-off that I've been looking forward to really all day long. These two crews and these two programs have really come on strongly in 2025, and I anticipated that they would have a really pretty comparable speed, and it would be a really good contest when we got to see them light it up side by side, and here we go. My wish is coming true, and we're seeing a really great race with Radcliffe just managing to hold on to the edge over Dartmouth as we're coming across the halfway stage and well into this third 500 meters, because that's that 1,500 meter mark just off in the distance here for our grand finalists in the women's varsity 8.
And if you look at Columbia and Michigan State for places 4 and 5, they're battling it out as well. So it's almost like 3 dual meets running at the same time here down the course here in Lake Quinsigamon.
All right, luckily we got that goose getting out of the way for this Scarlet Knight boat. Dominant move there as they're crossing into this final quarter of the race. That's open water for Rutgers over Brown. Brown just not quite managing to break free of Radcliffe at this stage, and that means Radcliffe still within striking distance for that silver medal. I do think the gold medal is pretty much well in hand here for Rutgers, barring any incidents, and hopefully, gosh, no geese coming into these final few seconds of racing. Really well executed race plan here by the Scarlet Knights to get themselves into that open water margin away from their rivals from Brown. And I do think that conversation has ended between Dartmouth and Radcliffe for that bronze medal, because
Indeed.
Radcliffe very solidly in that third place position.
Yeah, I mean, Rutgers looked like they're rowing downhill here at this point. They're just like accelerating the blade and really rushing to that finish, and they're going to finish in great style and for the last 250 meters still to go.
Yep, there's the red buoys. Well on their way to becoming Women's Eastern Sprints champions in 2025. You're looking at the crew from Rutgers, the Scarlet Knights leading by open water over Brown and Radcliffe for the silver and the bronze, barring any incidents here in these final closing meters of this grand final for the women's varsity 8.
Look at them send those puddles. I mean, just such the power that they're exuding in the sprint is just amazing to watch. They're a very powerful, well-coached, very well technically rowing team.
Yeah, these are some really strong athletes in this Rutgers varsity 8. I think that's a great observation. Super, super powerful is a great way to describe it. You can see the 2-seat ready to be done, putting the power on in the 2-seat, looking for that finish line a couple of times. But don't worry, 2-seat, you are an Eastern Sprints champion. Gold medal for Rutgers. Brown settling for silver, and a great bronze medal for Radcliffe. Open water for them over Dartmouth. And we're going to get a really beautiful shot of our 5th and 6th place crews, Columbia and Michigan State.
The seedings were spot on in this race. They just finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,